Hey guys, Bobby Rio here with Rob Judge, and today what we're going to talk about is essentially why girls go cold, why they lose interest, and why guys struggle to keep that strong attraction alive with a girl they really like. And this happens to nice guys a lot, where they start dating a girl, and initially it's like, bam, chemistry, they're everything in common, they have these great dates, and then like a month goes by and you start getting that feeling in the pit of your stomach that something's just different. And little by little, it starts with her taking longer to text you back, it turns into her kind of not being as available to hang out, and next thing you know, she's giving you the, I just don't have time for a relationship right now, or I don't see you in that sort of way. And you're sitting there going, what the hell just happened? So what we're going to talk about in this video is what actually happened and why she got bored and why she lost interest. And it all starts with the word certainty. Because in a relationship, the tension and uncertainty is what creates the butterflies, right? And the more tension and the more uncertainty there is, the more butterflies she has, the more she's thinking about you when you're not around, which is, Rob and I have often said, that's what leads to her falling in love with you, becoming obsessed with you, and chasing you. But everything guys tend to do in the beginning is to relieve that uncertainty. They want to make her as certain as possible, and it backfires immediately. So the first way guys tend to do this, right, is they either make promises, they reveal their hand, or they set up future expectations way too soon in a relationship.
Well, one of the first ways I think guys really get this wrong is by making promises or giving her reassurances that they really don't need to do and should not do early in the interaction. A lot of the times guys think, oh, the more sure I make her the relationship or my commitment to her, the better. And while that might work with your girlfriend, or that might work, a month or 2 months into dating a girl, if you're doing that too much too soon, it's, like you said, it's really going to backfire and it's not going to be pretty.
Yeah, and girls, like a lot of times we think we're doing what she wants, because a girl will say something like, so what do you see this? Do you see this, where do you see this going? Or what am I to you? And like we're like all of a sudden paranoid, oh shit, she wants me to tell her that I really like her and that I see a future. So we start going like, yeah, like I really like you and I see a future with you. Or sometimes you do it on your own. Sometimes we get this bottled up, like you just want to blurt it out because you're having this great date with her, and I've done it where, after a couple of dates I'm like, I really like you. It could be subtle. Sometimes it's something as subtle as you're too aggressive about insinuating things that you guys should do together in the future. Like maybe she mentions she likes to go skiing, and it's in the summertime, and you start saying, well, this winter, this is a great ski spot we got to go to, and you're like kind of planning out in the future, which is making her go, oh, he's thinking long term, which kind of, there's a little bit of certainty that she's got now, oh, he is thinking long term, when in reality, you always kind of want her guessing. The second thing is more tactical, in the sense that you want to not reveal things about yourself all at once. A lot of times as guys, we get diarrhea of the mouth. As we're talking to a girl, we want to just tell her all our accomplishments, everything about ourselves, because we think that the more we tell her, the more she's going to, like and trust us. But a lot of times, it actually diffuses some of her curiosity about you.
Yeah, and one of the easiest ways I always advise guys, when they first meet a girl, is that when you see that she's interested in something, when you say something, maybe she asks your job, and you tell her, and her eyes light up, and she wants to know more about it, or you told her some place that you traveled, and she wants to know more about it. We're not necessarily saying you can never tell her or to withhold that information from her, but you should kind of see that information, see her interest, see her curiosity as now you sort of have like a little piece of cheese to dangle, or a carrot to dangle in front of her to get her to work a little bit and to chase a little bit. And just really quickly, an example that I always like to give guys or students when they're asking me, how to get a date is, once you hit one of those high points, and I'll just give a quick example just so you know exactly what I'm talking about. When I was in my early 20s, I was working as a freelance writer, and a lot of the times when I tell girls that I'm a writer, their eyes would light up, and it's not to me here every day. They would say, "Oh wow, what do you write for?" Or "Have I ever read anything you've written?" Or stuff like that. A lot of times, especially when I was in New York, that was something that would be interesting to girls, and a lot of guys would think, "Oh wow, she's interested now. I should just tell her everything about it. Tell her about the magazines, and about all this different stuff." And I did that for a while, and it didn't go anywhere. And then I realized the best response to that, and now I use this response all the time. Whenever I see those eyes light up and I see that interest level in something I said, is I would just respond, we can talk about that now, but to be honest with you, that's a topic best discussed over a round of drinks, or that's best discussed over a glass of wine in my favorite wine bar, whatever. You could kind of take, make that your own, or give it your own take. Your own take on the line, but the idea is that you want to sort of tease her, and you want to use that curiosity and that excitement for what you do, rather than just tell her. You want to use it as something that's going to get a future date, to get her out, to get her thinking about you and excited to see you again.
Yeah, think about how much more powerful it is, right? If you've been dating a girl for 3-4 weeks, right, and a month into the relationship, you casually mention that, oh, you spent 2 months in China, when you were in your 20s, as opposed to having told her that right away. Now she's like, well, what else don't I know? You were in China for 2 months? And then, a few weeks later, she finds out that you were, an extra in a movie, or whatever, whatever interesting things that are in your life, the more you're kind of leaving these breadcrumbs where she's always wondering what's coming next. And that's a big part of it, is what's coming next. The last thing you want is to be the movie where she already knows the ending. She knows what's going to happen. And that's a big mistake nice guys make, is they are the book that the ending is written, within 3 minutes in the book, she knows what's going to happen with the nice guy. Another mistake guys make, and another reason girls get bored, is because guys tend to want to alleviate her insecurity about you being with other women. And I'll give you an example. So an example is, and this actually happened to me the other day, my friend was at my house for a party, and as he's leaving, a girl that he had just been dating for a few weeks texted him, "So are there any cute girls at the party?" And, a lot of times as a guy, we want to alleviate that, insecurity in the girl. You want to say, "Oh no, there's nobody here," or "There are, but I didn't talk to any of them." Sometimes it's more advanced. Some of the girls will be direct, and she'll be like, "So are you still seeing anybody since we started dating?" And the nice guy is immediately going to go, no. Where, a much better answer, my standard answer was, "Yeah, but you're my favorite," or you can do the other way. You can exaggerate your no, or you're like, "No, I would never, ever, ever date anybody else." So you're just saying it in a way that, it could go one way or the other. She doesn't know, Maybe even if you're not dating somebody else, you're still giving her the impression that maybe you are or maybe you aren't, instead of giving her the certainty that you're not.
Yeah, essentially, you're just really being playful with it. Again, Bobby's not saying to do this with, say, if you're in a real fight with your girlfriend, or you're in a committed relationship, but a lot of the times, guys, in their heads, they're in a committed relationship. If you've been seeing a girl, if you've been on 3 or 4 dates with a girl, you're not in a committed relationship. So answering that question "Oh, absolutely not," and acting like you're the celibate monk because, you went out and had pizza and a couple beers with some girl off Tinder, it's just not really a pro move. You definitely want to keep her guessing, keep those wheels turning in her head, and let her be intrigued. Be a little mysterious, be a little aloof, because that's going to really stoke her attraction for you.
Yeah, a pro tip, right? So my friend who was at my house for a barbecue, right? The good move in that thing is to turn your phone off. So if she's texting you, you don't even respond, because then she's wondering, "Oh, he's at this barbecue, who's there, what's going on?" Whereas if you start responding, she knows okay, I can have his attention. Even though he's at this party, he's still spending time replying to all my messages. Turn it off and hit her up when you get back, or even better, hit her up in the next morning. Let her have that overnight anxiety, and that anxiety is a good thing. So the next thing that is kind of a fun thing to do that kind of prevents women from getting bored is making fun of chumps, right? And it could be a friend of yours, it could be a chump from a movie, in some way or another, you're essentially saying, I'm not like that guy. Maybe it could be a guy and like his girlfriend treats him really bad, and you just make a comment like, I don't know why he doesn't just find another girl. And you're essentially letting her know that you have an abundance mentality, that you're the kind of guy that if things aren't going well, you'll just find another girl. Movies are great, and you have a...
Oh, absolutely. In fact, this is such a key piece of information. It's such a great tip that Bobby's revealing. I actually, for a long time, used to call this the golden topic, because what's so great about what Bobby's describing is when you're sort of poking fun at a guy who really doesn't get it, and maybe even if he's acting too clingy and it's creepy or whatever, and you're pointing it out, and you're doing it in a fun way. You're not doing it like necessarily in a mean way. You're just kind of like, oh man, that guy, like, oh my god, like, guy doesn't get it. The next thing you know, he's gonna be standing outside her window with a boombox, and you're bringing some pop culture references, and you're creating this sort of fun vibe, and you're letting her get in on it. If she's sort of adding her own jokes, you're doing it right. It's not just a fun thing. It's not just a fun topic for you and a girl that that you're kind of hitting it off with to vibe on. It's also the subtext establishes that you're really not like that guy. You're not like this creepy guy. That she doesn't have to worry about you being a social liability, about you being weird or clingy, or you're not going to do something that's egregiously wrong. And one of my favorite places to do it, actually, if you're ever out at a bar, or if you're out meeting people in a social situation, is just look around. Like, if you're talking to a girl that you just met, or a girl from the office, or a girl that you're interested in, even a girl you're on a date with, take her out to do some people watching together, and it creates this really nice conspiracy of you and her, sort of like it's a you and her vibe, where you're looking at different behaviors that guys do, and if you go out to your typical bar or nightclub, or even just even a Starbucks, guys that are doing it wrong are in great abundance. So it's not going to be hard to find one of these guys and just be like, oh my god, look at this guy. He's leaning in. He's got doing the whole.
And it's so easy because the girl will always go, oh, that's so sweet. I would love that. Especially in a movie. And you go, and my favorite line is, you would totally put that guy in a friend zone. You say it's sweet, but that guy would be friend zoned faster than you can say the word friend zone. And she'll always be like, oh, you're right. And the subtext is you're on the level. You know what's up. You're not like that guy. And you're saying it without saying it. And that is really key. A lot of this is saying it without saying it, because you don't want to, the thing is you can't say, I'm still dating other girls, because then you're like, you're trying hard, you're an asshole, you're damaging. Everything is left unsaid. And Rob and I have a video below where we're going to walk you through something called the scrambler. And the whole idea of the scrambler is that there's 4 things that women are conditioned to chase. We just talked about one of them, which is uncertainty. Women are addicted to this feeling of not knowing what's going on, this uncertainty of where do I stand. And you may be like that with a girl, and part of the reason that we all, at some point or another, get obsessed with a girl is because of that uncertainty. Well, that's just one of them. In the video, we're going to reveal 3 more of the things that women are just programmed to chase. They're sort of hardwired to chase it. And we're also going to talk about the scrambler, which is a little sneaky, but it's really, really effective because it sneaks into a girl's mind and gets her obsessed with thinking about you. And as Rob and I always say, if you can get a girl thinking about you when you're not around, you can make her fall in love with you. So click the link below, learn the scrambler, and do us one favor. Use it ethically. It's very powerful. Don't just run around using it on any girl you have a crush on, because she's going to get a little clingy.
Yeah. I mean, get some stories get very clingy. So yeah, definitely make sure you're using it wisely.
Yep. So check it out. Let us know what you think.